Good afternoon. I guess it's 12:30. I was busy thinking as I always do. And so I was still investigating on this whole epidural injection and all of that, and um I actually set up an appointment for to get an IV injection of B complex on Friday. I'll give you the updates on what I realize is the pain medication causes the liver to be highly elevated, which I've had an experience before from pain medicine. Like a long time I had like back issues and whatever. But the liver, what it does is it actually mimics like back pain and like sciatic pain. So what I've been doing is I had to recap on my memory and remember like NACs and milk thistle and I'm not sure if I'm saying this right. Uh Gymnea sylvestra, I think that's the name of it. And then so this morning I was like, okay, so what else did I do when I had this issue? Is I was juicing. And I hadn't been juicing in a while. Um Winter's really not like the time that I juice a lot, but um I I did do was starting to do like ginger and turmeric shots with like green tea and cayenne pepper and what else did I put in there? I think that was it. Anyway, the cayenne pepper is supposed to help your circulation and all of that. And so, I have a conversation with my doctor today and I was actually kind of channeling messages that people won't be able to hear you, right? If they use their borrowed beliefs, which means like doctors or like people that have been brought up, everybody's been brought up in the circumstances that their parents have been through. And so that's their borrowed beliefs that we were living in our life, right? So I think about, I don't know, 8 or 9 months ago, I decided to walk away from a particular person because his borrowed beliefs and my borrowed beliefs, it's kind of like trauma bonding, right? So, but once I started to awaken to everything and try to help him understand that his borrowed beliefs were not okay, right? And then as I started to write my book and I finished my book, he disappeared, right? Because my borrowed beliefs would have had to make him wake up to actually realize that how he's been living his whole entire life, or anybody, in general, how you've been living your whole entire life, which is really hard, right? Um, really hard to alter what you've been taught and realize that it's just not okay, right? So then you have to this is where changing the DNA comes into play. It's changing that DNA in order to know that those borrowed beliefs, whether it has to do with nutrition, your health, um, and your mind state, your nervous system, like it's all connecting together for me, how particular things and how the dynamic of my borrowed beliefs that I was healing my mother's wounds. I felt like I tend to do that my whole entire life, is to heal other people's wounds so I can understand them more of who they are, so that I no longer allow that in my life, right? Or understand that that's where they sit, and you cannot tell anybody, right? Um that because you're eating this particular way, or because your mindset isn't in this particular way, um they can't hear you, right? And right now, there is a lot of people that truly want to believe what they were told their whole entire life, whether it was diet, nutrition, doctors, the mind state of how we grew up and how we live and how we relate to anything, right? It goes food to money to relationships to love to everything, right? So those borrowed beliefs um, are really hard to get past. But what I learned from Keys of Wisdom, she's amazing. I love her. Love, love, love her. I learned so much from her. I don't think I would have survived this whole bed rest thing without her readings, which were really helps me look at things in a different way. Is to when people or situations, like I said, whether it's doctors, whether it's people, whether it's your upbringing, is to look at these situations and look at the truth as coming in sideways, right? So it's not what we knew, right? And you don't necessarily want to believe what you're being told, right? But the truth is going to come in sideways to show you, whether it's, through people, through your children, um, through any aspect of your life, astrology, religion, whatever it is, right? You have to look at the truth as it's coming in sideways to tell you that you better wake the hell up. Otherwise, you're going to suffer the repercussions of not looking at it in a different direction, right? How many times you kept wanting to live your life in a particular way and you're getting the same results. And I noticed as I was altering my decision making and my thought process, and I'm a big researcher. My ex would say, "You think too much." No, I don't think too much. I think more, I think for everybody so I can understand people. Um, so whether person, place, or thing, I'm looking at the truth coming in sideways as what is the real truth and getting all the different aspects of even a person. So if you want to know how I figured you out, right? I figured you out by your environment, your job, your money, your children, your family, how you live every day, what you hide, and how you hide it. Um, and even if you don't realize, some people don't realize they're hiding things um, with working out. I'm sure he's watching me, so he's understanding what I'm saying. But I knew. I always know by the look of people's children what their trauma was that they didn't deal with, right? Self-explanatory. Whether you're the child or your child or your grandchildren or anything like that. So taking a good look at that to understand that those borrowed beliefs that you're using as your own need to be released. And this Saturn going into Aries, nobody's going to keep quiet. There's not one person that's going to keep quiet. And I am definitely not one of them. Um, So, anyway, onward and upward, hoping that I can heal. I know that this doctor probably is not going to really believe what I have to say, but I don't really care what he thinks because I am already feeling better after starting the cleanse on my liver to get rid of the pain medicine so the B12, the B complex could stay within my body so that this way I don't have any more pain. And actually I've noticed that my disc area is already healing. Like I've noticed a lot of big changes. Like I'm able to lay on my back, which I couldn't at all. I'm able to sit, maybe not necessarily too long in the car just yet, but I'm getting there, which is, which is great. So we'll see what happens. So it takes a little tweaking and stuff like that. But um anyway, that's all I gotta say. I'm gonna go because I gotta go get ready for my day. Little girl with light. Peace out.